The fight between two of the richest powers in golf continues, just a few days after Tiger Woods stated Rory McIlroy's sentiment that CEO of LIV Greg Norman needs to be removed before LIV and the PGA Tour can coexist. To this, Greg Norman retaliated with some fire remarks of his own. The CEO of LIV Golf remains adamant that he won't be stepping away from his position as leader of the PGA Tour's competitor league. So, what does Greg Norman have to say about this ongoing feud? And is the PGA running scared? Find out by watching this video. Greg Norman has clearly heard the rumors about his potential ousting from LIV Golf. He's listened to the shots from Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods too. But in an interview with Today's Golfer, the CEO has said he's not going anywhere. LIV Golf CEO Greg Norman has fired back at Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy after they called for the Australian star to step down. Norman has rocked the world of golf over the past year, following the formation of the Saudi-backed series. Two of LIV's most notable critics have been PGA Tour loyalists Woods and McIlroy. Their latest attack came after they both suggested Norman leave his role as CEO for the two rivaling circuits to coexist peacefully. Last month, McIlroy said, "I think Greg Norman needs to go, and he needs to exit stage left." Later on in a press conference at the Hero World Challenge, Tiger Woods asserted many times that for any potential peace in golf's ongoing rift, the first step involves Norman's departure. Woods said the two tours cannot exist right now because of Greg Norman being the CEO. Woods was parroting a point made by Rory McIlroy 2 weeks earlier at the DP World Tour Championship. Yet, for his part, Norman still claims that that will not happen anytime soon. The LIV Golf CEO said, "I pay zero attention to Woods and McIlroy. They have their agenda for whatever reason, and they are saying whatever they want to say. It has no effect on me. I will be with LIV for a long, long period." Greg Norman also stated that the ongoing rumor that his job is in jeopardy. Since July, there has been conflict that LIV Golf has circled former CEO Mark King as Norman's replacement. But LIV Golf's managing director Majed Al-Saroor gave a statement in November stating Norman would remain with the circuit. He said, "Greg Norman is our CEO and commissioner, and any suggestion that changes are being made to Greg Norman's title or role is patently false." LIV's inaugural season finished in October 2022, and now its 2023 schedule is expected to have 14 tournaments, even though an official schedule has yet to be released. Now, ever since being named the CEO of LIV Golf last fall, Greg Norman has made numerous speaking gaffes, which includes downplaying Washington Post Jamal Khashoggi's murder by the Saudi and Arabian authorities by saying, "We all make mistakes." Also, his open letter threatening the PGA Tour commissioner was widely ridiculed. He vacillates between wanting to battle the PGA Golf Tour over the fate of golf and wanting to work with them. Greg Norman's also been prone to making grand promises about his league or player moves, along with most of those promises have not come to fruition. At the same time, and despite his public failings, several LIV Golf members remain in Greg Norman's corner. Reports have said that believing Norman has given them proper cover from the backlash for joining an entity with many human rights issues attached. Now, LIV Golf's 2023 schedule is expected to have 14 tournaments, although an official plan has yet to be released. Now, with a complete nosedive in TV ratings every time Woods and Mickelson are not present for a tournament, the PGA Tour has been attempting to convince the public that professional golf is in a good place with a new batch of up-and-coming stars. At times, it can feel as if the PGA's tour push for the new generation of talented golf players is more to convince itself and its sponsors of a bright post-Tiger Woods future than it is to convince the general public to watch Matt Kuchar rack up another top 10 finish. Now, there is no question that the PGA Tour does have some talented young players, and the tour's biggest problem right now comes down to winning. Also, it is hard to market these talented young players as golf's next batch of new stars when they do not win golf tournaments. Now, how can the tour possibly attempt to use Ricky Fowler as the main face of any marketing materials when he has just won one PGA Tour event in 5 years as a pro? With players such as Fowler, Kuchar, Spieth, and Bubba Watson in the mix, the Masters weekend TV ratings hit their lowest level since the year 1957. Also, even at the very top of the official World Golf Ranking, and with golf players who are a bit too old to be considered young, however, are still among the PGA Tour's top stars, we see similar results. Now, as the game has slowly expanded around the world, with each generation of professional golf players claiming that its generation has deeper and more talented fields than the previous generation. But at the same time, almost without fail, a single great player or small group of great players from different generations has managed to separate himself from the rest, with the one exception being 1986 to 1996, which is generally not viewed as a golden era in the game. Now, this would say that the level of parity fans are now seeing on the PGA Tour is not a case of too many talented players, instead a lack of any genuinely great players with the ability to distance themselves from the pack. This is troubling news for the PGA Tour and the game of golf. Golf participation has already declined recently, mainly here in America. In contrast to sports like NFL football, and in which parity has resulted in a popular rise, golf has never managed to thrive when avoiding a dominant force. Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson are both nearing the twilight of their amazing careers, and when the day finally arrives that these two game giants are no longer competitive and the PGA Tour could be in for a rude awakening. That is not to say the game of golf will keel over and die when Tiger Woods and Mickelson retire. The PGA Tour has been around for a long time, and golf has been played for hundreds of years. Nothing suggests that the game of golf won't survive long in the future. But there's a big difference between surviving and thriving. Over the past 17 years, the game of golf thrived mainly due to Woods' arrival on the scene back in 1996. The PGA Tour can be without another Tiger Woods in order to thrive for the next 17 years. Golf has been played professionally since the early 1860s, and Tiger Woods is one of the top 2 or 3 players to have ever picked up a golf club. But the likelihood of another Tiger Woods entering the next decade or two is very slim, and the game has thrived during periods in which the dominant player or players have yet to be nearly as successful as Woods. Now, with that being said, the PGA Tour does need one of these talented young players to step up and think about his position as the game's next dominant force. That means they can still win 14 major championships, or 30% of tournaments they enter, but they need to start winning a lot more than they have been to provide entertainment in a sport which is teetering on the edge of a hard decline. Now, the only problem with that scenario is that there is no one on tour right now with the ability, personality, and showmanship ever to come remotely close to filling the void that the likes of Woods and Mickelson will leave. And that is a big problem for the PGA Tour, and no matter how much it tries to convince you otherwise. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments. If you liked today's video, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon in another video.